Hey, my name is Ashley, and I'll be going over the reflections on the life of an administrator. The administrator that I chose was my boss. She is the director of the cardiopulmonary department in the hospital. So the reason I chose her is because if I wanted to advance my career, that would be the next position that I would want to do. So some of her responsibilities, she has 28 employees under her. She's she's responsible for replacing respiratory equipment on all the code blue carts in the hospital. So what that is it's a cart there in case an emergency happens, someone's heart stops, or they stop breathing. That cart is to assist the healthcare professional in bringing them back. So she's responsible for replacing all the respiratory equipment on that cart. She's over all the respiratory therapists in the hospital. She does payroll on everyone every day, and she pays for the gas in the hospital as well. So all the oxygen that's used up in the hospital, the oxygen that's delivered directly to patient's room, or the portable ones that you can just drag along with you, those oxygen tanks, they are paid for by the cardiopulmonary department. So this department also has sub departments as well, and they include the cardiopulmonary rehab, electrocardiograms, and EKGs, and it also includes the respiratory department. During my experience, we looked at a new machine, a new echo machine. Um, so what we did is compare the old image to the new image on a patient, of course. So just looking at the old versus the new, the picture was definitely clearer. There's some other features that the technicians really liked that were uh, really fun to watch on the new equipment. And the old machine is really at the end of its life, so it can't be repaired anymore. So that's why we were looking at the demos, so she knew what it looked like, and if she would be going with that product, with that brand. Um, we also went to a mobility team meeting. So what that is it's a team that tries to get the patients moving early. So if there's a patient that had surgery or who just is admitted into the hospital, they want to get them moving as soon as possible. As soon as they're stable, they want them up and moving around. And that's because you don't want their muscles to um, deteriorate. And so, because if you're not doing anything, you're just sitting around doing nothing, you're not using your muscles, your heart's going to get weak, your lungs are going to get weak, your body is just overall going to be weaker. And that's not good for the patients. It also, um, it's, the mobility team is also trying to prevent falls. So they're trying to come up with ways to really color code people into, oh, they're low risk at falling, they're high risk at falling, they're at a moderate risk of falling, so the nurses can keep track of who's who, and if they will need assistance to move. Going over the three levels of culture, we have the artifacts, which is what's visible to us. It spells the belief and values. So those are the ideas, goals, and aspirations of the organization. And then we have the basic assumptions, which is those beliefs and values that are taken for granted. So just going over the artifacts that I saw, her schedule is one of them, her computer, and just her office in general. So I say her schedule and her computer because her schedule is on her computer, and she has alarms to go off if an event's coming up or a meeting is coming up that she needs to attend. Uh, she pretty much stays organized by using that schedule and by using her computer as well. Her office is full of resources, so textbooks or binders that are just full of information, and If an issue comes up, or someone has a problem with something, she can go back to those resources to make sure that she's fixing the problem the correct way. After listening to the interview again, I think one of the beliefs or her values or goals is trying to get people to speak up if something is not working right and to work as a team. Another goal of hers is to stay organized. What she wants is to be able to do some of her work from home, um, and that she believes that that will help her to stay on top of what needs to be done and to stay on track when she comes into work, and then to just get things done quicker and more efficiently. So the basic assumption, I think the biggest assumption after listening to that interview again is that everyone would speak up. Um, I don't think everyone would speak up, but the hospital as a whole is trying to get people to speak up more. If they see something that's not being done right, um, something that could have been avoided, they want us to speak up and tell them like, hey, look, take a look at this issue. I think we need to reevaluate how we're doing this. And in conclusion, I think the um, shadowing went well. Just some extra information that I got from her. She does 50 to 60 hours a week as an administrator, which I'm only doing 30 right now, so doubling that. And also, just telling you what else she does is during a code blue, which actually happened during the demo. Um, this occurred upstairs, so it wasn't the patient that we were looking at, but a code blue was called, and we actually ran up there to see how we could help. And what she does is she just helps to facilitate, especially the respiratory part. If they need help getting that person to breathe again, she just helps them out, getting them to breathe again. But during the demo, the code blue was called. We weren't able to help them because they did have a DNR, which is a do not resuscitate. So we're not sure what happened to the patient, but there's just nothing we could do. So we went back downstairs and just finished out the demo. Thought that was something. And I think that's all I have to go over. So thank you for listening.